Hey, what's up? This is Pat recapping another 90s movie classic. This is True Romance. This movie starts with this dude, Clarence, and this dude fucking loves kung fu movies. So for his birthday, he's going to a kung fu movie triple feature by himself. And while he's there, this hot chick named Alabama shows up and she sits right next to him, despite the fact that there's tons of empty seats. There's hardly anybody in this theater. They start talking. Then after the movie, she's like, "After I see a movie, I like to get pie. Do you want to go get some pie with me?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, that sounds pretty good." And so before they go fuck, they actually do go to a diner and get pie. And then after that, they go back to his place and they fuck. And after they're done, she goes outside and starts crying. So he's like, "Yo, like, why are you crying?" And she's like, "I'm a call girl, not a whore."
You're a whore?
No, I'm a call girl, and there's a difference.
And I was paid to be there. Your boss hired me because he wanted you to get laid for your birthday. But I'm a good person and I love you. And Clarence is like, "All right, cool. I had a good time and I love you too." So they get married. And then he goes to her pimp's place to get her shit. So he shows up at her pimp's place, who's this uh, Rasta wigger dude named Drexel. And he's like, "Yo, Drexel, I'm Alabama's husband, so I'm going to need all her stuff. And she's not going to be a call girl anymore." And Drexel's like, "Yo, fuck that shit. She's not going anywhere." So they get in a fight, and Drexel gets Clarence's wallet and takes out his license to get his address so he can go find Alabama and bring her back. But then Clarence shoots him in the dick and tells this chick there, "Yo, go get all of Alabama's shit and put it in a suitcase." And then he shoots Drexel in the face and kills him, gets the suitcase and bounces. Um, he goes back, he tells her what happened, that he killed Drexel, and she thinks it's the most romantic thing ever. So then they open the suitcase, and it's just filled with bricks of coke. And she's like, "Yo, this isn't my clothes, but we got a shitload of coke, so that's pretty sick." And so they go to his dad's place because his dad has buddies who are cops. So they show up there, like, "Hey, Dad, this is my wife, and I killed a dude the other day. Can you ask your cop buddies if I'm a suspect, if they're looking for me?" So his dad looks into it. They know you're not a suspect. They think he had a falling out with an associate of his, and it was drug related. Because this coke that they have didn't actually belong to him; it was this other dude. So they're like, "All right, sick. Well, we're gonna head out." Dad's like, "All right, cool. It was good to see you. I'm just gonna make out with your chick a little first." Then they head off. They're heading from Detroit to LA. They call up his buddy and like, "Yo, dude, we're coming to see you." And then they fuck in a phone booth. And then meanwhile, because his license had got left at Drexel's, the guy that the coke actually belonged to was able to track down his dad. So he goes there with some goons because he wants to get his coke back. So they like, torture his dad trying to get information, and then end up killing him. And then uh, Alabama and Clarence arrive in Hollywood at his buddy Dick Ritchie's place, where his buddy lives with a roommate, this stoner dude named Floyd. And so they explain to him what's going on. Like, "Yo, we got all this coke, and we probably have $500,000 worth. We just want to unload it for cheap, for like $200,000. You got to help us with some of your connections because this guy's a struggling actor. So like, you got to know some big time Hollywood people." And he's like, "Okay, well, I know this assistant of a big time producer, so I'll hit him up and see if this producer wants to buy it." So they go meet up with his assistant Balky, and they work out that they're gonna have a meeting in a few days at the producer's hotel. And Meanwhile, a dude who works for the guy whose coke it is had tracked down that they had gone to his buddy's place and shows up there, and it's just the roommate Floyd. And Floyd tells him the motel that Clarence and Alabama are staying in. So he goes and he gets into their room while they're not there. And then when they show up back there, Clarence immediately leaves to go get the food, and Alabama goes in and he's like, "Yo, bitch, yo, where's my fucking coke?" And she's like, "Yo, I don't know what you're talking about." So he starts beating the shit out of her, trying to get her to tell him where the coke is and where Clarence is. And eventually, he finds the coke under the bed. Then she stabs him in the foot with a corkscrew, and so he gets pretty pissed about that, and the fight intensifies. He throws her through a shower door, but then she makes a makeshift flamethrower with a lighter and hairspray and sets him on fire and shoots him with his shotgun. Clarence shows up right after that, and they get the fuck out of there. And then, meanwhile, Balky, who had gotten a sample to give the producer, um, gets pulled over while he's getting roadhead. And so he's trying to get the sample bag of coke to this chick he's with. He's like, "Yo, hide this. They're not going to search you." And she's like, "Yo, no, fuck you." And they get in an argument. And as the cop's walking up, she slaps the bag of coke and it explodes all over his face. So he gets busted, and the cops turn him snitch. He's going to wear a wire for the meeting. So then um, they go to the meeting, and when they show up there, the Hollywood producers, all these dudes with mad diesel guns, and at the same time, a bunch of dudes who work for the guy that the coke belonged to shows up at the place of his buddy Dick, and Floyd once again tells them exactly where they are at the hotel for the meeting. So they all head over there too. And also, so the cops are at the hotel listening in. As soon as they finalize their deal that he's selling the coke for 200,000, the guy gives him a suitcase full of money. The cops come in, and all the producers goons are like, "Yo, fuck you, cops, we're not putting down our guns, you put down your guns." They have this big standoff. Then the goons who work for the guy who owned the coke, they show up too. So now there's just a fucking shitload of guys, all with fucking tons of guns, a big standoff. And then Balky goes to like the main cop, and he's like, uh, "Hey, like I'm done here, right? Like, can I leave so I don't get killed?" And when the producer hears that he snitched on him, he flips his shit, throws some shit at him, and then everybody starts shooting. Mad people getting shot. There's bullets flying everywhere. Um, and like Dick Ritchie throws up the suitcase that the coke's in. That gets shot. Goes everywhere. Clarence gets shot. He goes down. And then Alabama goes over. She's over him. Uh, she shoots and kills like the main cop, and then she like picks him up, and people are still going nuts, just bullets flying everywhere, and tons more cops showing up. But they are able to sneak out with the suitcase full of money, and they dip to Mexico, and they live happily ever after. And it is a sick movie. Like and subscribe, yo, and hit the bell for notifications.